I can't wait. I can't wait for that conversation. I can't wait. I got a busy schedule, but I swear, the second I get an invite, the second I have time, we gonna have those conversations. You want real talk? Gilbert Arenas ain't the only place to get it.
Hi, I'm Larry. Since you want the invitation, I think we all accept it. What I'm gonna ask you, I wanna ask you to come and put your fucking legs in the fucking bag. Come put your fucking legs in here, Steven. Head first, okay? We're gonna go head first. Come put your fucking body in here too.
Not the body, Sean, not the body.
Put your fucking body in here too. Yeah, I said it. Invitation accepted.
Thank you, yeah. We're waiting for it.
Well, now tuned in to the Dark Times channel.
And so here we go again, back with another one. Welcome back to the Dark Times channel. And let's go ahead and dive right in. So Stephen A. Smith the other day went on his platform and he was trying to do a little bit of explaining the other day about his interview with Jaylen Brown.
Because when you black and you're a black man and you outspoken and you stand on yours and you're highly successful and you're not one that's easily capitulating and what have you, lots of times the road is harder for you. That's what they were talking about when they said he wasn't light.
And so everybody understands that, everybody gets it. But at the same time, if Stephen A. Smith is going to go on national television and read a text message from his phone, and it's going to be something that is somewhat inflammatory, which I thought it was.
Read to y'all what an NBA source just sent me. He said, Jaylen Brown, it's not so much that he's underrated, it's that he's just not liked because of his quote, I am better than you attitude. He knows it. It's the same reason he is not as marketable as he should be.
And so that statement right there, that unnamed source that Stephen A. Smith went on the air and quoted, that statement right there is what Jaylen Brown took issue with. Because Stephen A. Smith going on the air, reading a quote from an unnamed source, talking about Jaylen Brown walks around thinking that he's better than everybody else is a lot different than what he's saying now. He didn't say anything about Jaylen Brown not being liked because Jaylen Brown is building a Black Wall Street. Jaylen Brown is standing up for his people. He didn't say that. All he said is that Jaylen Brown basically walks around thinking that he's better than everybody else, and he knows it. That's night and day from what he's trying to say now. And Gilbert Arenas and them are gonna call Stephen A. Smith out on this one.
What does journalism rely on? Right? What do they, like when you break down their job, the Wojs and all of them, what do they rely on? All their information about the sport
Unnamed source
has to come from somebody else because they've never done it, right? So if someone like Woj tells you who's giving him the information, it means he's not fucking important anymore.
Because you just go ahead.
You're not important. You're a vessel for information. You're a preacher, not God.
Wow. Whoa. Wow. Can we get a, 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 can we get a,
And so that statement right there, that mic drop moment by Gilbert Arenas, is the reason why Stephen A. Smith bothered to respond. That one hurt, that stung a little bit. Because Stephen A. Smith has always been somebody that's been somewhat sensitive about his journalism and his credentials. And to be fair, Stephen A. Smith probably has a right to feel that way. I can only imagine how many hours Stephen A. Smith had to put in to be able to get to where he's at right now. I can only imagine what he had to go through to be able to get to where he is right now. And so when Stephen A. Smith's credentials and his job functionality comes into question, I can see why Stephen A. Smith is a little bit sensitive and had to respond the way he responded.
Y'all ain't never talked to nobody off the record? I'm looking at y'all. I mean, I'm talking to everybody that thinks like that, but I'm just directing you directly. You ain't never done that? Ever? Ever? You never said to a single soul, yo, bro, off the record. Yo, bro, between me and you. Yo, don't quote me on this. That ain't never happened.
And so this is where a lot of people, including myself, disagree with Stephen A. Smith on. Not everybody feels that way. Not everybody feels like they have to say something off the record in order to get it out there. I'm the kind of person, and I know a lot of you guys listening are the same kind of individuals, that if you say something and it's out there, you can tell anybody, especially if I'm talking about another individual. I'm not necessarily talking about personal business or anything like that, but if I'm talking about a particular individual and I say it to you, if I say it to somebody, then that's something that I would say to their face anyway, regardless, especially as a man. I know there's a handful of women out there that like to dabble in the gossip.
It's Mr. Washington down there. Yeah, he's like a father to me. Hey, Daddy Washington! It's me, your little fuzzy wuzzy! Mm-hmm. Yeah, you'd have some spring in your step too if you was sleeping with the preacher's 22-year-old daughter. It's a trip. But I ain't one to gossip, so if anyone asks you ain't heard it from me. No, you haven't.
But that kind of gossip, and me telling you not to tell anybody I told you something, that's something different, and that's something most men will never do.
And there's something else he mentioned about towards the end was like, so don't act like you guys have never said anything off the record to a reporter. And I can honestly sit here and say I've never said, oh, this is off the record. Because I don't gossip. I'm not a gossip dude. I'm not gonna talk behind nobody's back. Do your homework, do your research about me. And this, what I'm telling you, off the record, nothing. I don't gossip about no. If I talk to anybody about anything, I lay with her at night. She don't talk to nobody.
Pillow talk is essential.
So
if you have a dedicated, devoted woman,
absolutely,
for
sure.
Yeah.
I look at it like, look, bro, they did what they did. I forgive you. I forgive you. But moving forward, you got to move around.
Yeah.
But you can say that.
Yeah.
You can say move around.
I think he know. I think Stephen A. know he got to move around. No, he messed up because we put this man on.
Move around.
No, I didn't mess up because we know how this world works. We know how everything works. So, with Jaylen, he understands now I have an ally who's gonna tell me rumbles that's going on, so I know how to move.
I don't think he rolling. I think Jaylen is one of them dudes like, I don't need your resources. I don't need none of that. But listen, man, keep my name out your mouth, bro.
Yeah.
Keep my name out your mouth, bro. Like, I understand you trying to get, viewers and all that, but you messing up Black excellence over here. We doing something bigger than clicks and views, bro. So you messing up the wrong guy's name. There's a lot of other guys you could have named that were not marketable other than me. Okay, Steve?
He's doing real good things.
Okay, Steve, he's doing great. He's doing some of the most amazing things, and you wouldn't even retract your statement. You said, I'm not taking nothing back. I stand on my business. It's like, what?
And so I agree with what they said on Gilbert Arenas podcast, especially Kenya Martin. And shout out to Kenya Martin, one of my favorite players of all time. If you know, you know. And I agree with everything he said. Like I said earlier, not everybody is cut out for that gossip. Not everybody likes the whole he said, she said, I'ma say something, but don't tell anybody I said it. Not everybody gets down like that. Not everybody's cut from that same cloth. Because what he said on ESPN about Jaylen Brown was personal. Talking about Jaylen Brown walks around thinking that he's better than everybody else. And like I said earlier, that was the issue. That was the main issue that Jaylen Brown had a problem with. Because nobody knows Jaylen Brown. Outside of Jaylen Brown and his family and people within his circle, nobody knows Jaylen Brown. But when somebody like Stephen A. Smith takes it upon themselves to read an unnamed quote from an unnamed source, talking about Jaylen Brown thinks he's holier than thou and smarter than everybody else, a lot of people watching Stephen A. Smith and paying attention to Stephen A. Smith are actually gonna believe that. They're gonna be like, oh, that's why Jaylen Brown doesn't have the deals. He's arrogant. He thinks he's better than everybody else. And for somebody like Jaylen Brown, who works with the grassroots community and is the people's champ, making a remark like that sounds like a hit piece. And so that's why a lot of people question, who sent that? Who told you to say that, Stephen A. Smith? And why would you say something like that, Stephen A. Smith? And that's why people questioned it. And that's why people had an issue with it. But you guys let me know what y'all think about this one. Let me know how y'all feel in the comment section. And as usual, peace and chaos.